Please pray with me. Father, we want to thank you for all of your blessings. Blessings for our families, friends, teachers, and students. The new school year is fast approaching, but not without some time left for traveling to vacation destinations. So please keep those who are traveling safe. Please be with our nation as we struggle with racial issues, terrorist war, immigration, and elections. Help us all to come together for the greater good. Also be with our men and women of the armed forces. Please bring them back home safe and soon. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Roll call.
Mr. Clark.
Present.
Dr. Kincaid.
Here.
Mr. Newsom.
Here.
Mr. Riley.
Here.
Mrs. Troop.
Here. Okay, next part on the agenda.
And more students are becoming more
No
proficient.
one has signed up to speak to us. We're going to move on. Superintendent's report.
I'll make this very quick. Just to let you know that as we are on July 11th, and I think we have about a month left before school starts, that all of our projects are currently on schedule. If you've been on the back side of East, you can see sort of the progression of the new window project. You'll also notice that in the enclaves, and here in the front of the building, they're starting to work on those. We hope to have those finished by the time school starts, but if we don't, they will complete those on weekends and after school. In addition to the windows, they're also going to be putting some blinds and stuff in, and that'll probably take place. They'll probably put those in on weekends. The Lincoln project is moving right along. I had a chance to go over there the other day and kind of walk through that building, and it's really kind of amazing the transformation that's taken place. The classrooms that have been made out of what was the existing office area are nice sized classrooms. It's really going to be a dramatic difference in the library. We really have added significant space to the library, which was desperately needed, and the new office is going to be a nice addition. And then, Brett, where are we on Roosevelt? Are we about got that knocked out?
No, those entrances are all
Right.
closed.
And if you remember at Roosevelt and Garfield, we were working on the development of the secure entrance. We're also redoing the entrance or creating a secure entrance at Liberty. We didn't have to move as much at Liberty in order to secure that office area. So anyway, things are moving right along. Of course, we're talking about construction. Anything can happen at any time, but right now we're very confident that everything will be done in enough time for our staff to get in and do the cleaning they need to do to get the rooms ready and get everything set up so that we can start school on time. That's all I have.
Next on the agenda is consent calendar. This involves agenda with commentary, the minutes, and the consent agenda agreements under $10,000. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, take a vote.
Dr. Kincaid.
Aye.
Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop.
Aye.
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Okay, next on the agenda is number 5, consideration of and vote to approve or not approve the following district financial reports. These are just all the financial things that we've had this month. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yeah, Judy, Don, and I covered, I think, every one of these in the Finance Committee. And
Okay.
Finance Committee. Okay. Okay, I'd make a motion to approve A through U. We've talked about all of them pretty much in the Finance meeting.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop.
Aye.
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Dr. Kincaid.
Aye.
Next is the consideration of a vote or not to approve or not approve science, mathematics, and biotechnology courses for the academic credit taken at Pioneer Technical Center.
This is something we do every year. It allows the students to take academic courses at Pioneer Tech Center for academic credit.
Move approval 5.2.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this. Are there any questions?
Are these the same courses that they have at the high school? Same
Well,
instruction, same
they're-
requirements?
The requirements are the same. Those people have to be certified to teach these courses. But the courses, we don't have a course in biomedical innovation at the high school. So the courses may be a little bit different, but they have to, but the teachers have to be certified, have to meet state certification standards.
But like the basics, algebra 2, geometry?
It's the same
exact
thing we do at the
course.
high school.
Okay.
Right.
Vote?
Mr. Riley?
Aye.
Mrs. Troop?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Dr. Kincaid?
Aye.
Mr. Newsom?
Aye.
5.3, consideration of and vote to approve or not approve the following contract agreements for the 2016-17 school year. A is renewal of agreement with Tamara Wink, physical therapist, to provide physical therapy services. B, renewal of agreement with the City of Ponca City for the School Resource Officers Program for the 2016-17 school year. C, renewal of agreement with United Community Action Program, Head Start, to provide early childhood services with Ponca City Public Schools at a cost of $2,200 per student. D, agreement with Worth Avenue Group LLC for insurance for student laptops issued to students at Ponca City High School and East Middle School. E, agreement with Renaissance Learning for license agreement. F, renewal of agreement with Blackboard Incorporated for mass notifications and website hosting. G, renewal of agreement with Kimono LLC for zone integration service. H, renewal of maintenance agreement with InSource Technology, Meru Networks for wireless access points. I, agreement with AAA Playgrounds for Washington Pre-K Center playground equipment. That's all. So do I have a motion to approve all those?
Before we
A
do,
through
Judy, I do have a
E.
question on
A
B.
through I. You have a question on which one?
B,
B,
the resource officers,
okay.
it's $122,000 basically for two guys for 9 months. Are we paying their full 12-month pass-through cost? Because if we're not, those guys are making $70,000 or $80,000 a year, or? Okay, but the $122,000 is just for 9 months. So if you extrapolate that out, these police officers are making $70,000 to $80,000 a year each.
61.
Well, no, 61's only 9 months worth of pay.
Oh. Oh.
Benefits and all.
Right, that's benefits and everything, I agree.
Yeah.
But to be 9 months at $60,000, loaded is about the same as $90,000. And you take 25% for benefits, maybe 30%. Are the police officers really making that much? I guess what I'm questioning,
Making 60 $1,000 a year, yeah. And then all the benefits on top of
but it still doesn't add up then. If you take 12 months, it should be probably $150,000 loaded.
These are the figures that the city gave us for their cost to us.
For only 9 months. I think you probably ought to look at that for next year. I mean, that seems very high to me for a police officer.
Do we know what it was last year?
It wasn't quite this high.
It was just a little bit lower than this because they get a cost of living.
And I'm okay with that. What I didn't know is this really 9 months? Or is this really their full 12 months and we only get them for 9? That's the question. But we're not paying for the full 12. So the city is reimbursing or paying the employees for 3 months and we're paying them for 9, correct?
Purchase their car, the insurance,
Well, that's pretty high, but okay. All the others we talked about in the finance
Okay,
committee
well,
didn't have any issues.
On D, we need to make a correction, that the students pay a $25 fee for insurance at the time the laptop is issued to them. That has been changed to $30 for the fee.
And it's $30 in the contract. It was just
on here.
in the commentary, it was not written correctly. Right.
So, and I think that's, so do I have a motion to approve A through, I think it's I? Do I have a motion to approve A through I?
Move approval. Second.
Okay, are there any more questions? Okay,
Mrs. Troop,
aye.
Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Dr. Kincaid.
Aye.
Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Okay, 5-4, consideration of and vote to approve or not approve library deregulation packet for E.M. Trout and Union Elementary Libraries for the 2016, 2017 through 2018 through 2019 school years. Do you,
This is, how many years have we done this, Shelley?
This will be our third year, but there's a new law, we just have to do it every 3 years, beginning this year.
okay. So what this is getting permission to use library assistants under a librarian.
Rather than a certified
Librarian.
librarian. They are supervised and meet with a certified librarian.
Okay.
And we provide those minutes for our accredited
Okay, so that's what that's about. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve 5-4.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Do we have any questions? Okay, vote.
Mr. Clark,
Aye.
Dr. Kincaid.
Aye.
Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop.
Fine. 5.5, consideration of and vote to approve or not approve adopting a school hours policy.
Is this something, do we have to do this every year?
We have to do it every year.
Okay.
Because we did it last year.
Right.
But it has to be a yearly.
Every year
first
we have to.
State approval?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. This is this is changing us from days to hours, correct?
Correct.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Dr. Kincaid.
Aye.
Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop. Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Okay, 5.6, consideration of vote to approve or not approve adoption of a plan that establishes which assessments high school students will take that were enrolled in ninth grade before the 2016-2017 school year.
We had a piece of legislation passed this last year that there's been a lot of discussion about, and what it's, probably where most people have heard it, is that it does away with the requirement that students pass 4 out of 7 EOI tests to graduate beginning July 1st. But the other part of that law was that school districts would have to adopt an assessment policy. So we have to identify what assessments that we're going to give students beginning with the ninth grade class of 2016-17. As of right now, the state has not decided which assessments that they're going to roll out. So we have 16-17, we have a transition year, and then 17-18, the new assessment program is going to start. So we have to have something in place for this upcoming school year. And so we're recommending that we use the state, the EOI assessments that we've given in the past, because as of right now, the state is still going to administer those next year. Now, it could happen that, August 15th or September 1st, they come up with a new assessment, maybe even in December, and we end up doing something else next spring. But as of right now, the only assessments we have to give kids are the EOI assessments.
So there's not a mandate on the state when they have to come out with something? I mean, the law says you can't use EOIs.
It's that you can't require the EOI for graduation.
Right.
Okay, so all it says is that you have to develop some kind of transition assessment for the 16-17 school year.
And you can't use, but you can use EOIs.
Can use the
It's
EOI.
after that you can't use it.
After that, they're supposed to have something different for 17, 18.
So if they come out with something next week, there's no time limit on us. We can always change.
We can always
We can
change.
approve this and change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were there any other questions? Have we approved them? Okay, I need an approval, motion to approve.
I'll move to approve 5.6.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded, so let's vote.
Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop.
Aye.
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Dr. Kincaid.
Aye.
Number 5.7, board to consider and take action on a motion approving the renewal of the sublease agreement between the district and County Public Buildings Authority for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2017. Sublease is, and the amount is $22,655.
This is part of that decision we made last year to secure revenue bonds for the construction of all of our facilities. This will be an annual thing. We'll do this every year.
Motion approved.
Second.
Are there-
Mr.
Oh, go ahead, vote. I'll ask, are there any questions? Okay, vote.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop.
Aye.
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Dr. Kincaid. Aye. Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Okay, 5.8, consideration of and vote to approve or not approve change order number 1 for the East Middle School window replacement project for $12,549.34.
Motion approved.
Okay, vote.
Mrs. Troop.
Aye?
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Dr. Kincaid. Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Okay. Do we need, 5.9 is executive session.
We do need
an
executive session.
session. Okay, consideration of vote to approve or not approve a proposed executive session for the following purposes: to discuss the possible termination, reassignment, resignation, and employment of personnel on the attached detailed personnel report; to discuss confidential conversations with the board's attorney concerning pending claims and litigation; to discuss the purpose of or appraisal of real property; and to discuss negotiations; to discuss matters involving a specific handicapped child; and to discuss any matters where disclosure of information would violate confidentiality requirements of state or federal law. So do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Yes.
Second.
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Dr. Kincaid. Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop.
Okay. All right, we are in executive session. From executive session, 5.11, recital by board president that minutes of the executive session were kept by the board minutes clerk and will remain confidential. 5.12, vote to approve or not approve recommendations for termination, reassignment, resignation, salary adjustments, and employment of personnel.
I move to approve 5.12.
Second.
Okay. All right, let's vote.
Dr. Kincaid.
Aye.
Mr. Newsom.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Troop.
Aye.
Mr. Clark.
Aye.
Do we have any new business?
No new business.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
We do that. Okay. Close the meeting.